Hello, everyone. Nice to see you again on our AMA sessions. Today we have a special guest, Joel. He is the CEO of ArtWallet, and as far as I know, he's the co-founder of MetaMask. Correct me if I'm wrong. Today we're gonna discuss ArtWallet. It's a new project and our cooperation ArtWallet with PureFi and the whole concept of this new product. And to start, we need to wait a bit, maybe 5 minutes, just to wait all the participants join us. And for the beginning, how are you doing, Joel? Where are you based now?
Yeah, I'm in Dubai these days, and it's been quite, interesting to see all the blockchain people come through here, and how the whole world is responding to COVID. I would say in general, I have a pretty good lifestyle here. I actually don't go too much out to the sort of drinking bar clubs, but instead have been playing, board games and meeting a lot of sophisticated crypto investors and people who are kind of doing interesting things in the space. And yeah, pretty interesting. Obviously, things going on in NFT space in particular.
Are you playing board games?
Yeah, I would say I'm a sort of game designer is a big hobby of mine. So I always like to play all of the newest, most interesting games, to have had the experience and, different things. Actually, these days I like board games more than computer games.
Oh, really?
For myself, yeah, for playing.
What are your favorites?
Uh, I, as a designer, I guess I'll say some of the ones I created were kind of one called Zeus Conquers the Universe, which actually, go back to the early MetaMask story. I usually say I'm a founding contributor to MetaMask because I sort of had the idea, got the team together, but I didn't really write almost any of the code or anything like that. But our team, to some degree, came together over playing games, including a particular game that I designed. So, yeah, it's kind of exciting sort of
What
story.
about Magic the Gathering?
I have played, yeah. It's a there's a lot of a very global, interesting, serious community around Magic the Gathering, but it's a bit of expensive to kind of get started, or to play seriously, to buy all the different cards, and I guess that makes it good for some people.
You mean to buy all these boosters?
Yeah, yeah. That's my impression, anyways. But yeah, I
Okay.
never was.
Have you heard about their plans regarding NFT?
No.
Probably maybe it was misinformation, but they heard they're gonna launch their NFT for some specific rare series of cards. And
Well, it's
no,
really exciting. I mean,
sorry, there is
I
some
didn't. I did.
interruption.
I didn't hear that. I think it's very exciting though. And I certainly would welcome someone like Magic the Gathering into the NFT space because I think we still haven't really seen a perfect fusion of like really interesting games to play with kind of the NFT space. And there's a pretty well-defined reason for that, actually. And the economic
Noise. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and it has to do with in-game economies, and that usually when people are playing a game, it actually destroys the playability of the game and the kind of story of the game if people can just buy levels up, as opposed to
Oh
having
yeah,
to earn
yeah.
it. The World of Warcraft and Ultima, many things they really strongly discouraged some of these behaviors, and today now with the play to earn space, very interesting, but I don't know that it still has that much appeal to like the serious gamer community, if you know what I mean. People who really like take gaming seriously and want to develop games that have kind of a long-term interest in play. Magic the Gathering is a great example of that because it has such a dedicated community.
Yeah.
People are very, very serious about it, and the people, you
And
can
they have these rare cards, which is nature of NFT. Super rare cards with high cost, high price on the market. And don't you think It's an issue with the whole user experience in DeFi and NFT ecosystem right now to join new participant into the game. I mean,
Yeah.
you need to have a wallet, you need to have understanding how it works, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, we had an AMA yesterday with like I think 40,000 people or something, and one of the questions that came up that was in the crypto differ chat, and one of the questions that came up was, aren't NFTs just really expensive? How are we gonna get people onboarded? And I think there is that impression as well. Yeah, difficult to use. You need this extra thing. I mean, even me, like I'm a pretty sophisticated user, and I have gotten too frustrated multiple times on OpenSea while trying to buy something that because you have to wrap your ether first, and then that little wrap plugin doesn't always work
Yeah, you need
correctly.
sure.
And I don't know, things time out, but you can't tell if the transaction has actually happened yet. So, clicking on the same button multiple times, and then, just a lot of like kind of slow and kind of unpleasant thing that I think many people in the, there's so much interest in speculative, blah, we can make money on speculation stuff, but some of the core infrastructure is just, I don't say badly designed, but maybe like badly implemented.
But
um
implemented, right,
yeah,
right.
it's really like sometimes appalling when you're used to working with something, that's very smooth. Like I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the quality of engineers in the blockchain space in general. Like I hate to say it, but it maybe just be a lower quality, like compared to, for example, the people who work for Apple. They're used to building like streamlined user experiences, and they spend a lot of time on that and optimizing and thinking about the hardware elements. And then in blockchain, people are thinking, how can I
Probably,
make the most money off of this the quickest?
probably it's because we just at the beginning. I mean, at the beginning of
I think, yeah, that's part of it too. So
DeFi and NFT, yeah, and it should be done properly. All these protocols to
yeah,
make
I
it.
mean, MetaMask is an interesting product that way for me because, at one level I'm proud and I think it's great that the blockchain space has emerged and people are doing that. At the same time, it's still not at that level of user experience where I can say I'm proud of it as a product. Like, and maybe it's my own sense of pride or something like that, because obviously adoption it would be better to have a product that's only like 80% there as far as user experience but has large adoption than something that's super beautiful that no one ever sees or uses. So but still.
I read all this news about Axie Infinity, and I
Yeah.
decided, okay, I need to play. I'm not a gamer itself, but I just wanted to check why it's so popular, why it's all this hype around,
Yeah.
and I wasn't able to launch the game. Um, I don't know, something crashing all the time. So I still even didn't see the whole user interface, how to play it. But people say it's very interesting game. They have very well designed tokenomics and game economics inside. It should be very interesting. Okay, for those who just came to our session, we have Joel from ArtWallet. He is the CEO of this project. My name is Slava. I am CEO of PureFi. And today we're going to talk about ArtWallet. Today we're going to talk about our cooperation. And we have a Twitter section where we get questions from our community, and we have live session questions. So let's start from the Twitter section. And first things first, tell us, please, about ArtWallet, the whole concept, the whole idea of this project, of this product.
Well, the whole idea goes back to exactly what we're talking about, looking at the existing infrastructure behind buying NFTs and selling. And, as an artist, maybe because I'm from the blockchain or because I've become done some of the finest art, most well developed user experiences and the future of AR and VR. A lot of what's going on in the NFT, even though I've been on the forefront of the blockchain world and the forefront of VR and AR art and art installations, and the fact that they're crossing over is super exciting to me. And I think it's really positive in general, that people are kind of understanding the metaverse and the possibilities on both sides. What's being done is kind of underwhelming. like like from the core infrastructure, the user experience, some of the kind of dynamics behind them. Like it's like tiptoeing in the direction of something that's really amazing, but kind of like still feels like it's at most sort of knee deep, and we still need to kind of build the infrastructure that allows people kind of to scuba dive into the metaverse and get the full experience. So really all of that I'm super excited about, and to me it's a multi-decade um experience, where people are going to go. And I actually just gave a presentation, I think, at the Russian NFT week, where I talked about kind of the three ways that we're going to experience the metaverse, and one of them is clearly blockchain, digital assets. Another one is clearly sort of augmented reality, VR experiences, and things of that nature. But the third one, which is super underdeveloped today and almost neglected, is kind of like, you know, telemetry, cybernetic implantment, kind of in brain kind of technology, basically, that'll allow us to start, say, like communicating telepathically, but yeah, basically have like real time communication and interface, brain computer interfaces that come directly from our brain. So there's a bunch of things that we're kind of building right now that are going to impact us for the next couple decades. And I kind of want to build, in general, towards that future, with the type of technologies that are basically missing in the NFT space today. So that was where we started. One of the things that, for me as an artist, I'm saying, I see a lot of things, like OnlyFans is a great example of that. People, love to share stuff on Twitter. They love to share stuff on Instagram. But what many people love even more is to share something and then you pay a little bit more to get, some special video or some special content, and things like that, which basically no one's doing in the NFT space. You get
Yeah,
something like a little GIF or something, and then that's it. And you're not even sure that you're going to have access to that in a couple months, if either there's a rug pull or the platform disappears or all
yeah,
these other things happen. So it's the economics of the NFT space right now is not aligned for the long-term worth of most of these projects. Let's say 99% of them.
yeah,
So probably more than that, actually. But yeah, so we want to build basically towards that other future, and we want to build very kind of deliberately, and I would say maybe even slowly, but yeah, more carefully, kind of to make sure the things that we're building are going to last and kind of still be around and be core infrastructure. So Art Wallet in some ways is a very specific platform. I know that we'll have audio visual streaming behind NFTs and other types of exclusive content. We're doing this crypto Apollo drop at NFT Basel on Monday to start off the whole kind of thing behind it. And one of those people will win a car, so it's kind of tying into physical reality. And there'll be other kind of features that are added on, sort of over time. But the kind of overall experience, still there's a lot of things on a roadmap, and it goes from starting with that kind of experience, basically a single piece of item that is released behind an NFT, whether it's a prize or some other art piece, to some of the more cool things, like basically if you own that, then you own a piece of content, then you can rent it to other people, you can allow other people, you can stake your NFTs, you can allow it to kind of be a long-term kind of revenue generating thing. And once you can build that, this is sort of in a tier three, you can build financial models around the future of the asset, and have it be a bankable asset, or, insure against it, and, get kind of actually clear valuation behind it, which obviously valuation would be very problematic from at least a normal fine art perspective over the things that exist today. So
Mark.
there's kind of, let's say, a few steps, and we're kind of moving, with the partners that we think are kind of have a serious kind of long-term look on the industry. And yeah, I'm very excited to see where it's going to go. I mean, I think, well, I've been, yeah, go ahead.
And what about minting? It's not the easiest part right now, just to mint your NFT. I mean, not every user can understand how to do it. Will ArtWallet be supporting minting or will not?
Yeah. Minting, I think, is a key part of the process, but it's not really our first feature, and I think at the moment we're not really trying to compete with the marketplaces that are out there. We will probably over time have to build some type of kind of marketplace, dynamics into the platform, including the ability to mint things. But right now there's so many other marketplaces that support, so many of these, let's say, I would say basic features, but yeah, kind of like basic features, that we can kind of import content, that already exists, for example, on OpenSea, and then provide another layer on top of that content, so like the streaming thing. So for
Okay.
example, I could buy, like I say, it's a Netflix or Amazon Prime, I could buy the, NFT of the video on OpenSea and then stream it, through ArtWallet and our platform. So
Oh, okay,
the
okay.
features like that.
Uh, the second question, I don't know, maybe you already answered it. If not, please go ahead. How ArtWallet plan to achieve future plans?
How are we planning to achieve these things?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think we have a very strong engineering team, a great kind of community, we're some really good advisors coming together from the kind of traditional art world. So, I think just building the right team and engaging with the community and finding people that are enthusiastic. I think we have a lot of really great people in the Art Wallet community. That is
Yeah. How about yourself? Are you somehow connected with the art realm?
I have done a couple of fine art shows, for my paintings in the past, and uh, photography and things of that nature. Um, but I wouldn't say and I've done some visual art installations. I've done some Burning Man art installations. So I would say I'm broadly, like, loosely connected with a few different areas of the kind of fine art world, and then through some of our partners, I'm, like, deeply connected. So yeah.
You mentioned Burning Man. What was there at Burning Man?
Well, I have a pyramid. You can look at my website, cryptoapollo.io. It has quite a number of interesting
Okay.
projects that are there. And yeah, there's some really beautiful things.
You
But
are
yeah, some of them are like art car, some steel installation art, kind of pyramid, different kind of visual,
okay.
digital art display things that are projected, inside of 360 domes or pyramids. So quite a number of things, really.
Are you attending all the Burning Man events?
For about 5 years, I've been pretty much every 6 years, I've been pretty much every year, but sometimes some smaller regional events, or getting around, seeing what is going on in other parts of the world. But Burning Man in Nevada is definitely the big one, and it's, yeah, this year I didn't go though, so yeah.
Yeah, the next question, Slava, tell about your cooperation with each other. Do you plan to do something with AML and if yeah, our cooperation is based on compliance. Or right now, the NFT projects trying to be compliant in different ways. So PureFi gonna provide uh, screening all incoming outgoing transactions, and it's just an easy thing. We're gonna act as an oracle. And also I would what I wanted to share with you today, we're gonna launch PureFi gonna launch NFT loyalty program. I'll try to show my screen. Yeah, just a moment. I hope you can see now my screen.
Yeah.
So we're gonna launch an NFT loyalty program. It's not just a simple NFT like you can see here. This NFT as a collateral have wrapped assets from different projects. We will do it with we will do this with our partner Envelope, and with ArtWallet, of course, and there will be assets. So this program gonna be launched next week, but all the participants on our AMA session will have an ability to start doing this task today. In our YouTube channel, you're gonna see the link, and yeah, this is additional way to cooperate with ArtWallet, not just in a way of anti-money laundering and compliance, but also we're gonna step into the art space a little bit with our community. The next question, what a unique feature you cover for the artists and creators, if you have some unique features for them?
Yeah, well, I think there's just a bunch of things that we are offering or plan to offer, that no one else has, on the market, and this kind of streaming service is definitely kind of at the forefront of that, as well as the kind of ability to guarantee, the persistence of the asset, and the ability to ensure the asset. So I think some of these things are, coming in stages, so they'll be, delivered, in a matter of, months, rather than weeks. But yeah, I think just in that part of it alone, like I'm pretty confident that we're hitting a kind of multi-billion dollar, Hollywood, Bollywood, entertainment industry, radio, Spotify, streaming kind of things. And just the type of services that those people will need is a bit different from what folks here need. So yeah, that's kind of a consideration.
Okay, thank you. It's not the same question here. It's the same question. What is your general opinion about NFT market right now? Is it on the top and we're gonna downgrade, or it's just at the beginning of all this hype and we will see in the future good projects and market for this?
I think the NFT market is large enough that we see multiple sub-segments, and some will go through their own, hype cycle, Like for example, there was, and I think it's pretty much already died down in a significant way, this hype around, digital art. It kind of came, it's down, it still exists. And Beeple or whatever, these kind of things. And then a lot of these things are basically speculative games, right? Like CryptoKitties wasn't really about the art of the CryptoKitties, it was about speculating on them and breeding them and all those kind of things. So that is still continuing, and CryptoPunks and a lot of these things are really more speculative games than art pieces. So there's a whole lot of that going on right now. um and I probably, like with CryptoKitties, like that had its own sort of big cycle, came down, kind of persisted in value, some of the original ones, but a lot of it obviously didn't, can persist in value. And then you have things like these play to earn games, like you were saying, Axes and other things like that, which is a whole nother emergent space. It's on layer 2, there's like hundreds of thousands of people, probably playing this game at the exact moment. And it's not, a lot of these things is interesting, but there's a bit of a breakaway potential, in the sense like Flow blockchain aborted NBA, then FDL, they basically started Ethereum and ended up with their own blockchain. So now they kind of have their own critical mass. So the rest of NFTs could be wiped out. Not to say that they would be, but I think all of these collectibles would retain value, and a kind of similar thing in place. For some of these other things. So play to earn, like if you have a million people playing this every day, does it matter about Ethereum? And if Ethereum starts to have problems, then people will develop other kind of solutions. So
By the way, regarding the gas price today, what blockchain ArtWallet gonna support?
yeah, we have a list of basically 10 blockchains that we think are important for the NFT space.
10 blockchain.
And including layer 2 solutions for Ethereum. And we don't have it precisely defined in the roadmap at this moment. But yeah, would like to kind of continue doing.
Okay. Okay, and come back to my previous for NFT as a technology.
The artisan utility.
I know what other utility could be, for example, for finance, maybe some contracts, etc., etc. Or you see just an artist and collectibles are the main domain for NFT.
I'm not sure I completely understand your question, but I mean, I think, similar to what I was saying before, there's just all these different branches, that are coming out, like, Magic. And some of them, they come in, it's nice thing about onboarding people from different areas, but they come in with their own things. Like we did during the celebrity agency I'm partnering, we did the Mike Tyson sale. And that, brought in a lot of people who are Mike Tyson fans, right? They don't necessarily use an NFT before, but they like Mike Tyson, So there's that kind of convergence of interests. And yeah, similarly, kind of downstream with these other things that we're doing, like play to earn is bringing a bunch of people, NBA fans are coming in, other like just different kind of groups of people that weren't involved before in the blockchain space are coming in. So it kind of allows basically, because at some level it's a very like simple technology, it's a digital asset registry, or a proof of ownership, a stamp, that really it can be used for a lot of things. And the fact that there's so much excitement and hype around it, leads it to be created. Yeah.
I'm not sure it's a proper question for this stage of development, but I still ask how to add NFT to the wallet. It's a question from the live session. How to add NFT to the wallet? Just send into the address, right?
Well, there are quite a lot of things that are possible, but I guess, yeah, it's it's basically the same as any other wallet. MetaMask being the same thing. You can import a seed phrase, you can directly enter a private key, you can set it up as a watch on a public address, so you don't necessarily need to store and custody your things when you're doing like portfolio management or something like that. Might even be like a kind of more manual feature beyond that, but kind of all the standard wallet things will support.
Well, probably the question was rather about minting future, but you already answered it. It's gonna be a new pipeline in your pipeline, but not at this stage. Maybe in some nearest future.
Mm-hmm.
Strange question. NFT from whom? For whom? NFT for whom? NFT for whom? The question from our community. NFT for whom? For artists, for everybody, probably.
Well, yeah, NFTs are for everybody in some very significant way, and it's exciting to see where it can go. I don't know if the current form, there's still things that are being discovered, and there's still, despite mentioning the NBA and NFL, there's still a lot of areas where it really hasn't gone, all the way yet into kind of mainstream adoption. So I think we'll find new areas of really exciting things, to basically capture sort of digital creations and allow marketplaces. So yeah, I think ultimately, like, it might be like 10 years from now, and I think the market, similar, the blockchain market tends to go pretty heavy consolidations, but let's say in 10 years from now, like kids will just grow up natively, with kind of some understanding of this stuff, and it'll be embedded in the games they use. It'll be kind of a default behavior.
Yeah, it's like general things probably will be in the future.
Yeah.
And is NFT world kind of competitor to current existing marketplaces, or it's totally different product?
Yeah, it's a completely different product in many ways. I mean, there's just one of the key things about it is that it, relative to everything else that exists, and this is sort of the whole benefit of blockchain, is it enables a kind of instant global marketplace. and kind of tradability and trust that is basically based on that. So every other game ecosystem ever really has been a closed ecosystem in which you pretty much have to trust the platform provider, and they can change the rules on you at any time. So you just never can know exactly what's going to happen kind of outside of that particular closed platform. And yeah, so that's basically the way these things have existed for in some ways centuries. And this is kind of a different dynamic. It's like instantly global.
I see. Okay, we run out with the question. Let me summarize about our cooperation. ArtWallet gonna use our protocol in order to be compliant in DeFi space. Also, we launched together NFT Loyalty Program. Follow the link under this video, apply for the program, and try to get a rare NFT with collateral inside. And if you have something to add about ArtWallet, about plans, please go ahead and we're gonna finalize.
Yeah, check out. I mean, these links will be posted to Art Wallet Chat and hopefully the PureFi one too. But the kind of crypto Apollo drop we're doing on Monday, because it's kind of really exciting. It's opening up a whole new world of NFTs. It'll be the first example of that. So, yeah, get on the bandwagon.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks for your time. See
Great.
you.
Take care.